Craig here with Eagle Eye. You know, this is our hallway here at the office, and to get good artwork, it takes a lot of practice. So we've created a video with our lead designer to help you fix 3 of the most common problems that we always have or that we see in artwork. So listen along. It's about a 9-minute video. It's a little long, but you're going to be better informed. And if you ever need anything, visit our website, eagleeyesigns.net. We're here to be your resource.
Greetings. Today we're going to go over very quickly the 3 biggest problems that we have in files. This will take a few minutes, and then I will go into more detail after for those who are interested. So, number 1 problem that we have is non-outline text. If you look at this file that I have open here as an example, you'll see that this is non-vectored text. It is just editable text that you could change to whatever. So what we need to do very quickly is, there's several ways to do this, but the easiest way is to hit Control A, which will select everything, and Control Shift and O, and you'll now see that those are all outlines. You can hit Control Y and it will confirm that those are outlines. When you zoom in, you will see nothing but all the little nodes. So let's go back out, go back to normal view. So that is the number 1 problem that we have. Number 2 problem, embedded and linked files. This file has 2 embedded, well, 3 embedded images, but we're going to deal with 2 of them very quickly. Right here we have the rodeo guy, and here we have this background image. This is a vectored AI file. This is just a JPEG. So you can, with a direct select tool, click right on that and it will bring up an embed for all of these. But some files you have lots of embedded images. There may be some hidden that you aren't seeing. You may have transparency effects on them. So the easiest way to do this is to go to your window, go down to links, and here you're going to see a list of all the files. If it has this little symbol, it means it's already embedded. If not, you need to click on the images and hit Embed Images. Go to your next one, Embed Images. And I believe you can do select multiples at once. So that will fix that problem. Now, you could send this file off right now, everything would be fine except our 3rd problem, and that is RGB. We print in CMYK, therefore your file should be CMYK before you send it to us. Colors shift, and we want you to see what the colors are before it gets sent off to us. So to do this, you go to File, Document Color Mode, CMYK, and the entire document will be shifted down to CMYK. You can see that effects will also change depending on if it is CMYK or RGB. Let me back up a step here. And you'll notice now that that's actually a lighter shadow. So what you need to do is make sure to shift this to CMYK before you send it to us so you can tell what it's going to look like. Some colors will shift dramatically, which I have a file open here to show you how. This is a visible light scale here. This is the whole spectrum of visible light that you can see. And your standard RGB is right in here. sRGB is in here. CMYK is in this black box. So here I have a few different colors represented on the outside edge of the RGB spectrum. So what happens is when we go from RGB to CMYK, it drags this color from this point into this point. So, and the farther the drag, the more dramatic the color change is. This is very noticeable in the greens and oranges in particular. Blues a little bit, they end up going a little purple. Reds end up going a little pink or salmon color. So I'm going to shift this all to RGB now, or from RGB to CMYK, and now you can see the difference. Let me go back and forth a bit. CMYK, RGB, CMYK, RGB. So this is going to dramatically affect your greens, your blues. All your colors are going to get pulled into this spectrum here. So we highly recommend you design in CMYK to begin with. That way you don't have any dramatic changes when you get your artwork transferred over. Another problem that we have is transparency effects. So shadows are transparency effects. Also, sometimes you'll see transparency effects like grunge effects. So if you select that object and you go to transparency and it's anything other than normal on this scale, that would be normal. This is where it was at. The best thing you can do is to raster your image in Photoshop before you send it. This locks those transparency effects into what you're seeing at this point. When we run this file through the RIP without it being rastered, those transparency effects are interpreted by our RIP and can shift. So drop shadows have a tendency to get much darker. Sometimes dirty effects like this will disappear, or they could get 10 times darker than you expect them to. So we recommend that you rasterize those files in Photoshop. Fairly easy to do. Open up your Photoshop. When you open your file, it's going to give you some options here. If you have bleed, set it to your bleed box. If you don't have bleed, set it to your crop box or your trim box. Make sure it's set to the right size or scale. And resolution. There's absolutely no reason for you to send us a 300 pixel per inch file for banners, for large prints. The only reason you need a 300 pixel per inch file is if this is going to be something that your client is holding in their hands. Most of our large prints are anywhere from 100 to 150. And there's absolutely no reason to go larger than that. CMYK is what you want to be set at, and 8-bit depth is fine. So once you get this, hit OK. It's going to rasterize this image, lock in all of these. This is now all one solid image. When you save it out, File, Save As, we normally save out as a JPEG. Some people have some stuff against JPEGs, but that's only really relevant if we are opening, resaving, opening, resaving. You can get some ghosting and pixelization around your images. We're only going to open this and print. So you don't have to worry about that. Quality 12 maximum, large file, hit OK, and your file's saved. That's all you need to do. So we'll end this here, and I'll have another one with some more advanced techniques and some more advanced setups coming real soon. Thank you.